Hello, friends! Happy New Year's Eve! I hope the holiday season's been treating you well. It certainly has been an eventful year. So, I thought it might be fun to cap off the year with the latest Old School Essentials Adventure Reviewcap. A season finale, as it were, and our 40th video for the Mage's Musings channel, if you count those put out by the dastardly Demi-Lich. Stupid Demi-Lich, stealing my soul, muscling on my turf. Blarg! Anywho, without further ado, the Old School Essentials campaign at the Keep on the Borderlands, Session 12. As is the fashion, the action is recreated using the Order of the Stick Monster for Every Season cutout minis. Today's players: Nathaniel as Colin Bush, Lawful Cleric of Elona, Level 3. George as Shamil, Lawful Thief, Level 2. Neil as Onion Buns Bumblestump, Neutral Halfling. Guest player Sean as Leomore, Neutral Elf. And new guest player Ryan, playing Quintus, a neutral acrobat. Together again at the Traveller's Inn, the group sits around their favourite table, celebrating Colin's return from Kleina, having taken his vows to become ordained as a priest in the Order of Elona. The group has made the acquaintance of newcomer Quintus, a performer and acrobat who has made his way to the frontier to find his fortune like so many before him. Shamil laments his absence during the recent cockatrice hunt, but has returned and is committed to the group's future prosperity, having honed his skills through practice and reflection. Quintus offers that he's heard rumors about bugbears in an area called the Caves of Chaos, and that these bugbears are deathly afraid of dwarves. Roos, a local popular priest of Oril, moseys on over to the table to say hello to everyone. He recounts their heroics to the others who weren't present at the cockatrice hunt, after which Roos again speaks ill of the Castellan and the soldiers of the keep for being lazy and corrupt. Colin is getting tired of this rhetoric, as it hasn't been his experience, but he remains quiet and lets Roos vent his frustrations. The doors of the inn open, and an elf, flanked by 2 guards, enters. The group has seen him before. This is Phineas, the Castellan's steward. He zeroes in on the group and approaches. Phineas addresses Colin, Onion Buns, and Leomore specifically, inviting them to dine with the Castellan this evening. A great honor, Colin and the others readily accept, and Phineas departs. Roos, who has been watching silently, warns the group that he doesn't trust this Phineas. He doesn't think Phineas is who he says he is. Years ago in the 5 Shires, a rogue elf murdered many Hin. That would be the proper term for halflings. This elf was dubbed the Scourge of the Shire. The elf was never brought to justice, and Roos noted that this Phineas bears a striking resemblance to the descriptions he's heard in his travels of the Scourge of the Shire. If what he thinks is true, then this Phineas and the Castellan are in league and really up to no good. Bumblestump is immediately interested, being from the Shires himself, and slips out of the inn to follow Phineas, but the elf has already made his way to the inner bailey. The team has the day, so they go about their business and plan their next excursion. Shamil hires a mercenary named Landry, who's eager to join the group as he's heard of their exploits. He borrows 85 gold pieces from Colin to arm Landry up in full gear. Quintus, realizing that his coin pouch is running quite empty, performs some impromptu tumbling feats, much to the delight of the crowd, who pay some coppers and silvers. Not much, but enough for a meal and a bed in the common area. Evening arrives, and the group goes to the inner bailey for dinner with the Castellan. Quintus and Shamil are allowed to attend as guests of the group. Sitting at a long table, well laid out with a worthy feast, the Castellan introduces himself as Dale of the Shire, a human who was raised among the Hin in the 5 Shires. The other guests include Phineas the steward, whom Onion Buns gives a hard and piercing stare, Josiah, the curate of the Church of Fultus, and Malcolm, the captain of the guard. After introductions, guests are seated. Onion Buns wastes no time in displaying boorish behavior, getting up out of his seat, making his way over to Josiah, and taking a haunch of meat directly off his plate after asking if he was going to eat it. Aside from Colin, Most of the group's behavior falls to the less civilized side of the spectrum, and the Castellan excuses himself early, but asks Colin to attend him as he wishes a private conversation. While Dale, Josiah, and Phineas are unimpressed with the group, Malcolm, the captain of the guard, is somewhat in his cups and takes a shine to these straightforward, if a little uncouth, characters, thanks very much to a high reaction roll. After sharing some jokes and war stories, Malcolm tells the group that they can count on him if they're in trouble. They need only seek him out, and he'll offer aid if he's able. Colin is taken to the Castellan Dale's office, where the keep commander states that because Colin has been ordained as a priest of Elona, he knows that he can be trusted, and offers him a task, a dangerous one to be sure. Several weeks prior, the former provisioner, a man named Garin, went missing. A group of mercenaries, led by a priest of Foltis, investigated and discovered a secret entrance beneath the keep, leading to a temple of Leogzed, a chaotic god, as well as a series of warrens beneath the keep. Alarmed by the existence of such a thing, he has sent out patrols to find where these warrens might come out, but to no avail. Worse still, men he sent into the warrens never returned. If Colin and his team are willing, he's authorized to offer a sum of 3,000 royals should they enter the warrens and map them out, as well as locate the exit point. Given that no man has returned from the warrens, he suspects it will be very dangerous, and will not think less of Colin if he turns down the offer. Colin says he'll gladly do it, but will confirm with his team. Castellan tells him to let him know as soon as possible. When Colin brings the job to the group, they all enthusiastically agree, with Bumblestump even positing that it's even better because they won't have to leave the keep. Colin reports to the Castellan that they all accept. When Roose arrives on the scene inquiring how dinner went, Colin asks if he'd be interested in fighting alongside them once again. Roose heartily joins in and says that his two acolytes, Ramsay and Walder, will be joining as well. They are under vows of silence until they are properly ordained, but are good in a fight. The group dips into their existing finances to buy the last remaining suit of plate mail currently available from the tradesmen and equip Roose's man Ramsay. The Castellan also provides 3 men-at-arms, one of whom is the guard Jesselyn, who was with the mercenaries when they previously found the warrens. Finally, Josiah the curate blesses the entire group before they descend into the warrens beneath the keep. Dropping down into the warrens from the evil shrine, the group moves forward slowly, mapping as they go. The tunnels are narrow and require them to move single file, which, with this many people, gets quite unwieldy. Finding a fork in the tunnels, they leave a man-at-arms on watch and proceed to the right, but that tunnel only leads to a new fork. Bumblestump returns to tell the guard to rejoin the group, but he hears a scream as he approaches. Bumblestump finds the guard dead, having been stabbed in the throat. The rest of the group returns and pushes down the left fork, finding yet more tunnels and forks. Since they are tasked with mapping the whole thing, they don't worry about the many forks, they just pick one and follow it. Coming upon a mound of refuse at a dead end, the team is accosted by giant rats, foaming at the mouth with some foul disease. Using smart tactics, they create a bottleneck and funnel the rats into a kill box where they're able to dispatch them, but not before Roose's acolyte Ramsay is bitten. The group lets him go back up to the keep before continuing through the warrens. Returning to the rat nest, they search the refuse, hoping to find something, anything, but only the remains of some previous expeditions that the Castellan had sent. In the module, there's a 50% chance that anyone searching will contract a devastating blight, but Landry, Shamil, Colin, and 2 men-at-arms all manage to avoid contracting any diseases. Most lucky indeed. As the group continues to explore the cave and map it, Quintus spots a greenish patch of slime on a low overhang. The group throws a rock and taps the wall to dislodge it, causing it to fall on the ground, where they kill it with fire from their torches. The caverns prove windy and extensive. Bumblestump investigates a branch that seems to narrow and is almost caught off guard when a giant snake emerges from the rocks, but the halfling manages to withdraw in time. Colin tells Roose to save his light spell, as he will use his own, to which Roose strangely responds not to worry as he isn't casting light, then readies a scroll and begins casting something else. Colin's light spell blinds the giant snake, and they're ready to kill it safely from range while it's helpless, but the meaning of Roose's words becomes clear as he finishes off the spell from his scroll, casting Hold a Person on the group, Betrayal! Colin makes his saving throw, as does Landry, but Shamil and Bumblestump find themselves rooted to the spot, held. Roos grins as the enraged Colin prepares to enter battle. Roos's remaining man is blocking the tunnel, preventing anyone from withdrawing the way they came. The players find themselves glad they were only able to arm one of Roos's acolytes with plate mail, and that was Ramsay, who was forced to withdraw from his injury against the rats. Melee ensues. Roos attempts to cast a light spell in Colin's face, who is close quarters with the evil priest, and aided by Landry, while Jesselyn goes hand-to-hand with the blind snake to remove it from the equation. Quintus, Lamior, and the man-at-arms engage with Walder. Quintus's acrobatic maneuvers see him bouncing off walls and keeping enemies off guard, culminating in a devastating strike, killing the snake. But for every success there is tragedy, as the elf Lamior is struck down and killed by Walder. Colin and Landry, with Jesselyn's aid, are able to land some telling blows against Roos, and Walder is killed in an exchange with Quintus. But a new figure enters the fray, a mysterious woman who proves to be immune to the attacks of the team. A man-at-arms falls to her blows. Roos is badly injured, but still fighting. The group is penned in. A morale roll for Roos holds fast, and he tells the group to surrender or be killed to the man. The team is unsure if they can take Roos and his invincible ally, but grip their weapons and ponder their next move. It is here that the session concludes. Oh, another sizzler! With a cliffhanger! I love cliffhangers! Well, normally the group would have just played it out, but the DM and George had a time limit on the session, so they were forced to end mid-combat. The dastardly Roos has made his play, which is fun. This has been building slowly. The Keep on the Borderlands module has a priest of chaos planted within the populace, who befriends players and such. In this case, the only player who knew what Roos was really up to was Dean, a DM himself who has run this scenario. But he wasn't revealing anything, only offering hints in the previous sessions where he was able to attend. The young player Nathaniel, who plays Colin Bush, was the most put out by the betrayal, swearing never to trust an NPC again. Oh, to be young again. As for Beneath the Keep, the first half of this scenario was played through with another group of adventurers back in Session 5, but now they are in the Dangerous Warrens, and it is playing out much as expected. Some dangerous hazards, but this is a large group. They met the mysterious woman, whose secret I won't yet reveal, as there's still information yet to be discovered. The diseased rats and giant snake have been dealt with, but there's still a little more. The danger was obviously enhanced nicely by Roos's betrayal, which is, of course, not part of the Beneath the Keep module, but the Keep on the Borderlands scenario itself. The module for Beneath the Keep is designed for 5th edition, so some tweaks had to be made, most notably with the mysterious woman, which I shall delve further into in another review cap, once the scenario has been completely revealed. We have a cave crawl, a tense betrayal, a deadly combat, and a cliffhanger! What more can you ask for from a game? I do love a good cliffhanger. I only wish we could have another cliffhanger to make this season finale extra exciting.
Ask and you shall receive, wizard. The time has come to fire up the barbecue minions. Soul food is on the menu. I hope you brought your bibs.